Most people you think are rich aren't. And the scary part? Some of them don't even know it themselves. There's a difference between looking wealthy and actually being wealthy, and the gap between those two things is wider than most people want to admit. Today we're going to talk about the signs, the real, specific, uncomfortable signs, that someone is faking it. And before you get too comfortable watching this, ask yourself, how many of these apply to you? Let's start with the one nobody talks about first. They always know the price of everything they own. Not in a practical way, in a showing-off way. Ask someone genuinely wealthy what their watch cost and half the time they'll shrug. Ask someone fake rich and they'll tell you the exact figure, the model name, the waiting list they were on, and where they got it serviced last. Real wealth doesn't need a price tag attached to every story. Fake wealth does, because the price is asterisk the story. Now here's where it gets interesting. The fake rich are obsessed with brands that signal money to other people, not quality, not craftsmanship, not personal taste. Pure signal. They wear things not because they love them but because they need you to register them. You'll notice the logo is always visible. The bag is always facing outward. The car is always parked where it can be seen. Genuine wealth, on the other hand, tends to be surprisingly quiet. Old money wears unremarkable clothes. New money, actual new money, is usually too busy building something to care what you think about their shoes. But here's the sign that catches people off guard the most. They're broke at the end of every month. Not broke like they have nothing, broke like everything coming in is already spoken for before it arrives. High income, zero savings. This is the trap that swallows millions of people who look successful from the outside. The rent is premium, the car note is premium, the subscriptions, the dining, the travel, all premium. But open the bank account on the 28th of any given month and it's nearly empty. Cash flow and net worth are completely different things, and the fake rich confuse the two constantly. This leads directly into the next sign, which is one of the most dangerous ones. They finance everything. The watch is on a payment plan. The car is leased. The furniture came from a buy now, pay later app. Even the vacation was put on a credit card that won't be paid off for 3 months. Now, financing isn't automatically a bad thing. Wealthy people use leverage strategically all the time. The difference is why. Strategic debt creates assets or opportunities. Fake rich debt creates the appearance asterisk of a lifestyle that the income doesn't actually support. One builds wealth. The other drains it slowly, invisibly, until one bad month becomes a financial emergency. Here's a question worth sitting with. When is the last time they talked about investing? The truly wealthy talk about assets, properties, portfolios, businesses, equity. The fake rich talk about purchases. There's a specific kind of person who can tell you everything about the new restaurant they went to, the trip they just booked, the outfit they just bought, but ask them about their investment strategy and the conversation goes quiet. Consumption is their hobby. And consumption, no matter how expensive, does not build wealth. It performs it. Now, let's talk about the social media piece, because it's unavoidable. The fake rich post everything. Every trip, every table, every outfit, every unboxing. And there's a particular quality to the content. It's aspirational in a way that's aimed outward. It's curated to make you feel like you're watching someone's highlight reel of success. Real wealthy people are surprisingly boring on social media, if they're on it at all. They're not performing a lifestyle. They're living one. The performance is the red flag, because you only need to perform something when you're not fully convinced it's real yet. There's another sign that sounds almost too simple, but pay attention. They can't say no to social pressure spending. A friend suggests a weekend trip. They can't afford it, but they say yes anyway. The group is going to an expensive dinner. They had other plans for that money, but they show up and order the steak. The fake rich are terrified of being perceived as having less, so they spend money they don't have to maintain an image in front of people who are, frankly, probably doing the same thing. It's an expensive illusion maintained by a group of people collectively pretending together. Real financial confidence means being able to say, "That's not in the budget right now," without any embarrassment, because you know exactly where your money is going and why. Here's one that takes a little more observation to notice. They have no financial patience. They want the result now: the apartment upgrade, the new car, the business class seat. Wealth, real wealth, is almost always the result of compounding, doing boring, unglamorous things consistently over a long time. But the fake rich are always jumping to the reward before doing the work. They skip the years of modest living that allow savings to accumulate. They skip the unsexy early stage of any investment. They want to look like they've arrived before they've even started the journey, and that impatience ends up being the very thing that keeps them from ever actually getting there. And this brings us to a sign that is probably the most revealing of all. How do they react when things get financially difficult? When a genuine setback happens, a job change, an unexpected bill, a slow month, the fake rich tend to panic, hide it, or double down on spending to keep the image intact. Because the lifestyle they've built has no cushion. There's no 6-month emergency fund quietly sitting in a high-yield account. There's no diversified portfolio absorbing some of the shock. There's just the performance, and when reality hits, the performance becomes impossible to maintain. The truly wealthy aren't immune to setbacks. But they've built actual structure under their feet, real assets, real savings, real systems, so a hard month doesn't become a catastrophe. Here's the last one, and it might be the most important. The fake rich talk about money constantly, but they can't tell you their net worth. They'll tell you what they earn. They'll tell you what things cost. They'll tell you about the deal they got or the bonus they're expecting. But net worth, total assets minus total liabilities, is a number a lot of high-spending people have genuinely never calculated. Because for some of them, the answer would be uncomfortable. It might even be negative. Real financial awareness isn't about income. It's about knowing where you actually stand, not where you appear to stand. So the real question at the end of all of this isn't about someone else. It's about you. Because a lot of the behaviors on this list are normalized. They're what social media teaches us success looks like. They're what advertising tells us we should be doing. The pressure to perform wealth rather than build it is everywhere, and it catches smart, hard-working people all the time. The antidote is simple, even if it isn't easy: know your actual numbers. Build real assets. Stop performing and start compounding. The people who actually end up wealthy are almost never the ones who look the part the earliest. They're the ones who were quietly doing the work while everyone else was busy with the performance. If this made you think differently about something, there's a video coming next about the habits that actually separate building wealth from looking wealthy, and the gap is not what most people expect.